What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the Grist House Craft Brewery, and they're out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and this is their pineapple upside down. So they're calling this one a dessert sour, and on the side of the can it says sour ale brewed with pineapple, red tart cherry, milk sugar, aka lactose, and vanilla. It comes in at 7% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed, time of review. And this can is just over 3 months old. So Grist House, I have not reviewed or had a beer from them since the summer of 2019, so almost 4 years ago. And that's because we don't get distro of Grist House stuff here in Buffalo, New York. Typically, back in 2019, a friend of mine, Sean, went to Pittsburgh, PA, did a little beer excursion, and brought back some beers for me, and he brought back 4 different ones from a Grist House. I reviewed them all, and I really enjoyed what I had from them. And 2 of the standouts was a sour IPA that was like kind of like a pina colada, and then a goza with a lot of guava in it. So I figured if we ever get distro from them, I would try out another sour ale. And in the past couple months, I think we've seen like 2 or 3 beers from them, maybe even a little bit more, maybe like 4. But I saw this one, I was like, I like myself a pineapple upside down cake, and that's exactly what they're going for here in a dessert sour form. So yeah, let's see what this one is all about. So I picked this one up maybe like 6 weeks ago. Yeah, something like that, maybe 2 months ago. Been sitting in my fridge, and I just wanted to get to it today. So here we are. Now, pouring this one a little bit aggressively, but maybe I should not have because it seems to have a decent carbonation. I have this big glass, so I'm trying to get it all in here. This is a heavily fruited sour, and I kept it upside down in my fridge. So we'll see. Yeah, I'll be able to pour the rest probably in here as that head dissipates a little bit. Yeah, I'll put this over here and I'll try to show you the beer itself. Yeah, so I would say as a whole, that kind of looks like something that has pineapple and red tart cherries in it. Has about a almost 3 finger of this lightly pink colored head. There is fruit puree remnants packed in around the rim there. It has this like really almost like carrot juice kind of look to it. On camera it might be a little bit different colored, maybe darker, but definitely looks like a carrot juice or something. Maybe a little darker than carrot juice. But yeah, it just kind of looks wild. Maybe like a thick ruby red grapefruit juice, I would say. Hold it up to the light. Yeah, you're not seeing anything through that because it's murky and turbid. But yeah, anyway, it looks kind of what I expect this beer to look like, to be honest with you. Let me pour the remnants in here, see if there's any goodies at the bottom. Not really. Didn't look to be. Maybe there was a slight chunk there, but for the most part, no. Anyway, let's get a nose. Dude. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it tastes or smells exactly like pineapple's upside down cake. But this is, without question to me, as far as like a dessert sour goes, the most cakey dessert sour ever. This smells like yellow cake. Like somebody put yellow cake into the beer. Now they're saying pineapple, red tart cherry, vanilla, and lactose. It smells 100% like cake. Now, does it smell like a pineapple upside down cake? To some degree. There's a little bit of pineapple, but I'm getting more of that like tart cherry kind of nose. Dude, it's unreal, that cakiness. Like, I cannot get over that. That smells wild. Now, here's the problem. Cake is fucking sweet. This smells sweet. It's a dessert sour, so it's not like I didn't expect that, but it might be unbalanced because outside of the tart cherries, I'm really not getting the base here. It just, I don't know. Not much more to say about it. It smells like fucking cake. Is a pineapple upside down cake? Sure. Whatever. Let's get to it. Cheers, everyone. Hold the phone because this beer is a fucker. This is a fucking deceiving beer off that first sip. Holy shit. Fuck you. But also delicious. Where do I begin? Let me just go body mouthfeel, get out of the way. But this isn't as thick as a lot of these heavily fruited sour, but I think it works for drinkability. I always say that. I always say when the beer is more like medium to maybe higher side of medium body as opposed to like a low full or even like just a thick syrupy kind of body, it works better with these dessert sours or just like these pastry sours. And it's the honest to God truth. Like, I would rather have these like higher side of medium body and less thick if it ramps up the drinkability, and it does. Because the mouthfeel isn't super soft and smooth and creamy. It has nuances of that, but this has like an almost approaching moderate carbonation, which is super refreshing to the palate. So I think the body and mouthfeel makes this more refreshing. The taste is a mindfuck. Period. Front of the palate, that yellow cake kind of, just a bundt cake type of thing. A pineapple upside down cake is just a cake, but this kind of has like a bundt cake, like kind of feeling to it as well. It hits me at the front. It's cakey, it's vanilla, but it dives underneath the palate. And I don't feel it until the very end, but it dives underneath. Then there's waves of like a sweeter pineapple, that red tart cherry. That's where you start getting the pineapple upside down cake kind of feeling outside of just the cakiness. It also, about 2/3 of the way through the palate, ramps up in terms of, this is like a low sour beer. A little bit puckering on the back of, like in the jaw area on like the back of the palate. So you think it's gonna be sweet, and that's why I said it's deceiving, because up front in the nose, it's like, yeah, yellow cake, super sweet. Then midway through the palate, it's just like, nope, it's definitely a sour beer. And I appreciate that because it cuts the sweetness immensely and balances it out to some degree. It's not like super balanced, but it's balanced enough. But then on the finish, while this finishes with a semi-dry kind of finish, no bitterness, but it's semi-dry, you're sitting there, you're like, okay, this is gonna just be like a lingering sourness that kind of finishes with a little bit of acidity and whatnot. No, that cakey vibe from the front kicks back on the finish, and you're left with basically pineapple upside down cake. That's what I'm left with anyway. Yeah, 7%, you really can't taste it. This is really, like, I'll be honest with you. For a pineapple upside down cake, like dessert sour, this is a 5 out of 5. Like, this is 100%. 100% of, they fucking, Grist House, you nailed this. You should be proud that you nailed this, because there's a lot of times with these dessert sours, smoothie sours, heavily fruited sours, slushy sours, whatever you want to refer to them as, I drink them, and I'm like, yeah, maybe kind of gets there, whatever they say on the can. It's like, yeah, I get 1 or 2 of maybe the adjuncts or the fruits or whatever. No, I get everything, and everything is exactly what it says it is. This is a 5 out of 5 for what they're going for. I'm not giving a 5 out of 5 because the flavors aren't like over the top. I don't love pineapple upside down cake. There are many cakes I would take before. I do enjoy it though. But it's still really fucking good. I love that sweetness is cut midway through the palate. Like, without that, this would be too sweet, and there'd be one of these beers where I'm just like, yeah, this is good, but it's too sweet for me. I want to share this with like 3 people. No, I'm going to drink the rest of that. I'm going to enjoy every second of it, and I think they did a fucking phenomenal job with this one. So kudos to Grist House. Pineapple upside down, a dessert sour from Grist House. No issues whatsoever, giving this a high 4.5 out of 5 and go 4.55. It's a 5 all day for what they're going for, without question. I'll say this right now. This is one of the best sour beers, or adjunct sour beers, whatever you want to define it as I said earlier, that whatever the name of the beer is or whatever they're going for, they nailed it. This is one of the best to a T to me. So price and availability, I paid $6 for that can, which isn't crazy considering like Mortalis beers and froth here in the Buffalo, New York area or Western New York area are like $25 a 4-pack if you go to the brewery. I don't know what this is at the brewery, but the fact that it was $6 a can in my neck of the woods, that's not bad in distro. Like when Drecker makes distro, or 450 North, or a lot of these breweries, like they can be $8, $9, $10. $6 a can all day, every day, especially how good this beer is. It's just fucking really, really good. And availability, I have no idea with Grist House, other than I'm sure they make distro in and around Pittsburgh and probably some places in PA. We just got a drop of their stuff here in the last couple months. I've not seen a drop since this happened. I think this drop was in April. So now we're in early June and haven't seen any more, but maybe we'll get some more stuff from them. I don't know. I'm just super excited about this beer. I'm so... You could probably tell from the review, like, it kind of just fucking came out of left field. It threw a curveball at me. Like, I wasn't expecting them to nail it, but I also wasn't expecting that cakiness. So, I don't know. If you like these types of beers, seek this one out if they ever release it, or you just so happen to find it in your neck of the woods. So, if you had this one before, please post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about this one. Have you had a pineapple upside down cake sour before? Because I can't really say that I've seen too many that try to go for this specific cake. There's a lot of different crazy dessert and pastry sours out there, but I don't see too many that go for this cake. So that's why I picked it up. Very curious to see what it was like, and I'm glad I did. So huge thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Like I said, 7%, can't taste it. And that is a beautiful thing. To the next one. Cheers.